So good morning everyone. Today I'm going to the first time I'm doing a bilingual Dhamma talk. So today I'm going to, I was starting with reading out. This is come from the Sutta-Nipa. That is a collection of these scriptures, the earlier scriptures. And I find it very interesting because this is the Brahmin Achita questions to the Buddha. I find that it's very appropriate and I find that it's very interesting. So now I'm going to speak in Cantonese, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đây, tôi vừa講嘅經文呢，就係呢個叫做經集，即係喺呢個 Sutta-Nipa 係一個係收集喺呢個經文啊，係收集起嚟嘅。咁樣呢個經文呢，就係呢個嗰個婆羅門阿จิตา，佢就向呢個佛陀問呢啲問題，即係我覺得呢個係一個好有意思。即係講佢問到好貼切啊，係問到個問題，因為問個問題好貼切，我覺得呢個就好，因為一時太長嘅經文你會唔記得，係呢種短嘅係咪？即係好似個法句經啊，你真係好真係可以，你記得好耐㗎，你知冇？所以我覺得係好有意思咯。So now I'm going to start with reading out the Sutta-Nipa. What the questions of the Brahmin Achita. So this is what he asked the Buddha. He said, "What it is," said Achita, "that smoother the world and makes the world so hard to see? What would you say pollutes the world and what threatens it most?" So he means that, smother like something like tightly cover. What is cover, that we can't, and then what is makes the world so hard to see? We can't see the world. So whatever we see the world, we are not perceiving the things as a truly is being covered. And what would you say pollutes the world? What pollutes the world? Because when the world is polluted, you can't really see, isn't it? And what threatens it most? This is the questions that Brahmin Achita asked the Buddha. 咁啊！呢個婆羅門阿จิตา咧，佢就問呢個佛陀咯。呢個頭一個問題，佢就問佢咯：係乜嘢啊，令到呢個世界被封閉咗啊？即係睇唔到啊！乜嘢令到咁加難睇啊？因為佢封閉咗，你好加難睇嘛，封閉咗，做咩咁加難睇咧？咁樣乜嘢係污染呢個世界咧？乜嘢係最令到人最恐懼㗎？咁樣。跟住呢個就係佢嘅問嘅問題咯。Then this is what the Buddha's answer. He said, "It is ignorant which smother, which is cover. Because ignorance we can't see, isn't it? We've been covered, we can't see." And said the master, "And it is carelessness and greed which makes the world invisible." Because we can't see, because of our greed, because of our mindlessness, because we are not mindful. When we are not mindful, when there is greed, which makes the world invisible, we can't see, because we're covered by our mind. First of all, ignorance. So because of ignorance is because of the lack of mindfulness. If you have wisdom, you have a strong mindfulness, so then it will help to have clarity. So we have the wisdom. So wisdom is the antidote of ignorance. So they said it is carelessness and greed which makes the world invisible. The hunger of desires pollutes the world because of our desires. So we were following our desires, isn't it? That really pollute the world. And the great source of fear is the pain of suffering. Because we all have fear of pain, isn't it? The pain of suffering, isn't it? Sometimes we have the fear, and we have the fear of fear. And this is all the negative emotion. And actually negative emotion is really suffering, isn't it? It's painful. So 呢個佛陀嘅答案就係咧，佢講咧就因為我哋嘅愚痴啊。所以被封閉咗咯，我哋封閉咗我哋個心係睇唔到個世界咯，因為愚痴嘛。咁樣咧，響就係又係因為我哋冇正念啊，我哋冇正念同埋我哋嘅貪婪啊，佢整到呢個世界係睇唔到咯。我哋睇唔到係因為我哋貪啊，我哋嘅貪，因為個貪係來自愚痴嘛，同埋我哋冇正念啊。 所以咧我哋睇唔到咯，係封閉咗咯。The hunger of desires pollutes the world， 係講個 hunger of desires 嘅意思，即係講係嗰個，因為係我哋嗰個好飢渴、好飢餓啊，好飢餓對呢個慾念啊、慾望啊嘅飢渴、飢餓啊，係講就污染咗呢個世界咯。佢污染咗係咪一時起你好大個嗰啲污霾係咪睇唔到嘅？佢就因為係我哋冇正念，同埋我哋對呢個貪念嘅貪嘅慾望啊、貪念啊，太過就即係講好飢餓啊，所以咧佢就污染咗個世界，我哋睇唔到啦。And the great source of fear is the pain of suffering。佢講嗰個最對我哋最大嘅恐懼啊，嘅恐懼就係呢個苦啊，個痛嘅苦嘅痛啊，係最大嘅恐懼咯。我哋係咪好恐懼嘅對痛啊？好似我哋痛啊，好似就算我哋身體痛、腳痛啊，我哋都會大日去再痛，我哋係咪有一種恐懼嘅？我哋好恐懼，我哋再面對嗰種痛咯。跟住and then Ajita following he said, in every direction said Ajita, the rivers of desires are running. And how can we dam them? And what will hold them back? And what can be used to close the floodgates? So this is what the Ajita, he said in every direction. He used this to describe our desires. Isn't it? Sometimes our desires come from every direction, isn't it? When we see what we can see from our eyes, ears, touch, isn't it? And then that's why he described our desires, because our sensual desires is come from our five senses, from our five senses. So he described that it's in every direction. The rivers, he described like a rivers of desires are running. So this is how our desires is running. And then he said, how can we dam them? And what will hold them back? He said, how can we just like dam it? Like, you like those retaining wall, you use things to stop it. How to stop it? And what can we use to close the floodgates? So what are, because it's if we dam it and then we have to close the gate. If we don't close the gate, will be flood, isn't it? The floodgates. And then跟住咧，呢個婆羅門阿哲他就問咯，佢就用嗰啲河啊，嗰啲河由四方八面啊咁樣衝緊你啊，佢係形容我哋嘅慾望啊，我哋嘅慾望就好似嗰啲河流咁樣啊，喺好多喺不同嘅方向啊流入嚟咯。咁樣我哋點樣去阻止佢咧？點樣去約束佢咧？係講咁樣，我哋係用乜嘢啊嚟閂咗呢個孔水啊個閘啊？我哋點樣鎖開個閘咧？ And then this is what the Buddha's answer. Any river can be stopped with the dam of mindfulness. So the Buddha said using mindfulness. That's mindfulness to stop it, said the Buddha. I called it the flood stopper, like a stopper. Like, sometimes we use a stopper to stop, like in a retaining wall. Sometimes you have the plug, we use a stopper to stop it, isn't it? And the wisdom, you can close the floodgates. And then they use, because the mindfulness is the clarity, so the clarity, the wisdom is come from clarity, isn't it? So this is where we grow our wisdom. When we have a clarity, this is where we grow our wisdom. So this is the answer from the Buddha. The Buddha said using mindfulness to dam the river, and then using how do they use the flood stopper? That is a flood stopper. They use it is as a wisdom. So this is what the Buddha gives the simile, that mindfulness is to dam the river, and the wisdom is the floodgates. So 跟住係呢個就係嗰個佛陀嘅答案。個佛陀講咧，係講個河咧，你係用你正念去阻止佢啊。因為我哋冇正念，我哋係咪阻止唔到我哋嘅慾望？我哋慾望太強啊！就算一時頭先我哋正講起，就算一時我哋嘅 我哋有正念啊，我哋正念唔夠，我哋都阻止唔到我哋慾望係咪？我哋點樣我都係要做，好似我哋講我知道我食開會肥嘅，我要減肥嘅，食開先，大日正減啊，係咪？雖然你知道都好，但係你都係唔可以阻止嘅，因為你嘅慾望太強，你嘅正念唔夠。當你正念唔夠嘅時候咧，你就約束唔到你嘅，你就可以你阻止唔到㗎，你都係俾佢扯咗去嘅。Then I call the flood stopper， 係講呢個就係叫即係好似個 stopper 咁樣啊，即係好似我哋未有嗰啲，好似我哋嗰啲水缸啊，係嗰啲水壩，我哋未有嗰啲 stopper 嘅，嗰啲叫 stopper 叫咩 stopper 叫做好似嗰啲十口咁樣嗬，十口係講阻住佢咯。咁樣係講係講嗰個智慧啊。智慧就係嗰個好似個 gate 咁樣啊，好似嗰個閘門咁樣啊，個閘門鎖住，唔俾嗰啲水流入嚟，唔俾我哋嗰啲慾望啊，即係講衝出去。所以嗰個就係我哋嘅閘，個門閘啊，好大個門閘。所以佛陀講咧，所以講去阻止我哋嘅慾望同埋我哋嘅嗰個飢渴啊，個慾望嗰個就係用呢個正念係阻住佢。跟住因為我哋我哋要通常係你阻住佢係因為咧，我哋仲係未斬斷嘅事，但係你阻住佢咗之後咧，我哋就鎖閘咯。即係好似我哋敵人嚟到，我哋阻住佢唔俾佢入，跟住我哋三閘係咪？就係咁嘅意思咯，就係用我哋嘅智慧嚟鎖咗佢咯。So just now I talk about the desires that because the Buddha said you need to have mindfulness. Sometimes even though with mindfulness, sometimes our mindfulness is not strong enough, isn't it? Sometimes we still get pulled away, get carried away by our desires, isn't it? Because the desire is so great, it's so intense. Our mindfulness is not strong enough to stop it. And then this is what I said just now in Cantonese, but now I just added on. And then the wisdom is the one who be able to close it, because first of all you have to be able to stop it, be able to it's just like you have to slow it down, like all the water is gushing, and then sometimes you can't just stop it immediately, so you cannot put the stopper immediately, but then you use to dam it down. You use sandbag to dam it down, then it slow down the water, and you slow down the water, then only you can close, isn't it? By closing the gate, the floodgates, is by using wisdom. This is what the answer from the Buddha. Oh, too small, I can't see. Okay. So then Ajita continued to answer, said Brahmin Ajita, where there is wisdom and mindfulness, there is also hybrid of mind and matter, the generations of individually that brings us all to half. This is what it means that, yes, now you have the wisdom, you have the mindfulness. So how, the hybrid of mind, there is like the complication of mind and the body, and the generations of the individuality means that you bring rebirth again and again. This is mind and body. We rebirth, we come back again and again in the loop, in the samsara. So how it make it cease, is stop. How to stop being come back again? How to stop the rebirth? This is what he's actually mean. I think because this is the all olden English, the way that they use it. And this is the answer of the Buddha, because he said, this is not the answer, this is the question of Ajita. How we stop the rebirth, how we stop that we are not coming back again. 跟住咧呢個婆羅門阿จิต繼續問咯，響 OK， 依家陣你講咁樣呢個智慧啊，同呢個正念啊，佢哋亦都係呢個我哋嘅心啊同個身啊，即係講我哋個五取溫同我個心咯，咁個心係咪好複雜嘅？咁樣我哋呢個身同心咧，我哋係咪不停嘅輪迴啊？ 係講我哋點樣阻止、點樣停止啊？呢個唔再輪迴啊，即係即係講唔再不停咁樣，我哋輪迴好多世咁樣翻嚟咯。And this is the answer of the Buddha. This is the answer to your questions, Achita, said the master. Individually can be brought to a total end by ceasing of consciousness. That is a ceasing of consciousness. Because when our body, when we died, so that is our body is ceased, isn't it? No longer body. But the consciousness is still there. You know, our consciousness, our memory is all in the stream of consciousness. Rebirth is just like I give the example. It's just like a smartphone, you know. It's like a smartphone. Sometimes people said, you know, that called reincarnation, but actually it's not true. Reincarnation, that is the same you, the same that is the soul. But this is, when we talk about rebirth, you know, that is a connection, but it's totally a different one. So it's just like give the example of smartphone. So you have a smartphone. So your smartphone, you know, your battery died. You know, if the battery died, it's just like your brain died. You know, you can't use it anymore. So and all the memories, all your data, it's all been, you know, loaded in where? iCloud, isn't it? It's in the iCloud, in the air, you know. And then that is like, this is like a simile, this is like our stream of consciousness. So then we got a new one, new smartphone. Our new smartphone, when we got a new smartphone, so the stream of, that's all the data we will download again into a new phone, isn't it? But is this the same as the previous phone? It's not the same. But it's still, there is still the continuity, there is a connection, because you download all the data, all the memories, all that you have loaded in the iCloud. There is a stream of consciousness. Then this is how this is where rebirth comes. So the stream of consciousness will look for, you know, when someone pregnant or whatever, in whatever realm, you know, that your stream of consciousness being pulled, drawn to that, to where you're being inclined, you know. That's why something is so important. The Buddha said to make our inclination very strong. If we have a strong inclination of goodness, we always drawn to something positive. They said you will be reborn in a good place. The Buddha said it's important to strengthen our inclination, to have a strong inclination of goodness. So you'll be reborn, so you will have a good rebirth. So the Buddha said that is when the consciousness ceases, then it's no more. You no more rebirth because of the consciousness. So the body, because of the consciousness, is the cause, you know, is the origin. And then that's right, you still come back, you still come to being because you still want to reborn. Unless that cessation of consciousness. This is what the Buddha explained. So 個 Buddha 同佢講，個 Buddha 講係講，因為我哋不停咁樣輪迴咧，就除非我哋嘅意識啊滅啊，係講我哋嘅意識唔滅咧，我哋會重複又重複再翻嚟嘅。因為我哋呢個輪迴咧，我就用呢個 smartphone 嚟比喻咯，嗬，你係 iPhone， 咁樣你個 iPhone， 你個 smartphone 唔用得咗，因為個 battery 都已經唔得，因為個 battery 一死咗你就唔用得㗎啦，係咪？你唔可以修理㗎嘛，即係好似我哋個腦死咗係咪？因為個 smartphone 咧喺嗰個 battery 嗰度就好似我哋個腦咁樣腦死可落係咪？係咪個人係咪即係滅亡咯？我哋死咯。當我死嘅時候，我哋嘅意識啊。因為我哋嘅意識，我哋仲愛翻嚟嘛，我哋仲愛生存嘛，個慾望愛生啊，仲喺嗰度嘛。咁我哋係咪係再去揾另外一個身體？咁啊，另一個身體咧，我就比喻你所將你嗰個我哋通常我哋買一個我哋有一個新嘅 smartphone， 我哋係咪將我哋嗰啲之前所有嗰啲資訊啊嗰啲嘢，我哋係咪係傳上喺呢個叫做iCloud 係叫咩啊雲端啦係咪？我哋傳上去嗰度㗎嘛？咁當我哋有一個新嘅 smartphone 啊，我哋係咪全部再點樣講啊？download 係 download 落下載落嚟個新嘅電話個，咁樣你呢個新嘅電話同舊嘅電話一樣麼？唔一樣噶嘛，係咪？但係咧，佢哋有關聯嘅，因為嗰個意識，你嘅舊嗰個意識仲喺度，所以做咩一啲人啊，佢哋會有一啲嗰啲習氣啊，根本上你都唔知邊度嚟㗎，係咪？咁呢啲係上一世帶嚟嘅咯，佢哋有關聯嘅。Then said Ajita.There are people here who have mastered all the teaching. There are students, apprentices, and ordinary people too. Tell me how these people should live and work. 佢嘅意思that this is what it means is that like how the ordinary people practice because they have to work, they have the different work. So how should they practice and how should they live?咁樣呢個婆羅門阿จิต就問咯，我依家陣好多人就係依家其他好多嗰啲普通人啊，咁樣咧佢就已經即係講對呢個嘅佛法啊嘅教法啊，係咪？咁樣就佢哋即係講係明白呢個教法咯，個 teaching 嗰個佛法咯。And there are students， 佢哋有 students 有學生啊。有 apprentice 係叫咩啊？實習生啦，實習生。And 係講佢哋係呢啲即係講係比喻一啲係已經係即係講有覺知咗嘅，係明白嗰個 teaching 嘅。咁樣一啲係普通人啊。咁樣佢哋應該係點樣去生活同埋工作咧？ And then this is the answer from the Buddha. Let them be like a wanderer, a monk, and said the Buddha, mindful and skillful in every way, they should free themselves from pleasure, hunger, and make the minds calm, undisturbed. So they said it's not only mindful, the Buddha said it's like practice, even ordinary people, even lay people, laymen, lay women, we also should practice like a wanderer so that we live a life mindful and skillful. Sometimes mindful is not skillful, you still have to have the skill, isn't it? How to apply the teaching. And as I remember there was a lady, she stayed in a monastery, is a lady guest, and then she has some difficulties with another lay guest. She always get upset and angry with the lay guest. So then one of the ways she used to stop her anger towards that person, so whenever she got angry, she got upset with this lady, she always remind herself, because she remembered the teaching from Ajahn Brahm. Ajahn Brahm said, don't water the weeds, water the plant. So whenever he got angry, he said, don't water the weeds, water the plant. Don't water the weeds, don't water the plant. He keep doing that. Then he keep doing that. Then he think that she's already resolved, And actually, there's nothing wrong with the teaching, but you have to be skillful, have to have the smartness, how to apply it, isn't it? So one day, she was really blasted. She was really shouted at the lady, And it seems that her anger increased rather than decrease, because she using this, she using this, water the plant, don't water the weeds, and then it seems that you use this to suppress her anger. So whenever you suppress, your anger grow instead of decrease, it grow even greater. And that's why then she realized that actually doesn't work, because sometimes she used it to suppress it. Because that's why I always encourage people. Reflection is nothing wrong with Ajahn Brahm's reflection, but the way you use it. That's why when you're angry, when you're emotional, that is not the way you do your reflection. Can you do reflection? When you're irritating, when you're emotional, you can't, isn't it? So that's why you need to be settled down. When your mind becomes peaceful, then you reflect. You think of why I want to feel it, why I want to get upset, who is the one who suffer, Then only that is only works when your mind is peaceful and calm. So that's why the Buddha said, that's why you have to be mindful and skillful, and then they should free themselves from pleasure, hunger, and make the mind calm and undisturbed. That's why sometimes it's important that naturally, when our mind is not disturbed, we are naturally peaceful and calm because of we always been drawn by our desires. And then the desires always lead to negative emotion. Then we got emotion. We buy in. Sometimes we even buy in other people's emotion, isn't it? Other people being rude to us, they get upset with us. We also get upset because of the other person upset. But we buy in. But if we have mindfulness, we know that, it is none of my business anyway. Whatever other people say, whatever, if even other people are upset with us, angry with us, it's their problem, it's not my problem. And that is where that you stop yourself from the pleasure hunger and your mind become peaceful and undisturbed. So this is the whole teaching the Buddhas to Brahmin Ajita. So 跟住佢就個呢個係個佛陀嘅答案啦。個佛陀講咧。佢講咧，就算在家人啊，我哋普通人啊，我哋都係要好似我哋都要個修練啊，即係好似嗰啲即係好似出家人咁嘅修練嘅。我哋要唔淨係要有正念，我哋要有skillful 係比較技巧，即係講我哋要有技巧嘅，淨係正念都唔夠嘅，技巧都係來自。有嗰個智慧咯，你有智慧嘅，你淨係正念啊，正念係冇智慧啊，你淨係正念，你唔識得佢點樣去阻止佢，你用嘅方法都唔同，因為你冇智慧嘛，因為你冇技巧嘛，即係我同佢哋講嘅就係我哋一個在家人喺我哋嘅廟度住嘅，咁佢對一個另外一個在家人咧，係成日好撞火佢嘅，即係講對呢個，所以咧佢知道撞火係唔好嘅。咁樣佢又聽阿 John Ram 嘅 Dhamma talk 啦，係咪？佢講咧，阿 John Ram 講你咧做乜嘢？你要去灌溉嗰啲雜草啊？做咩你唔灌溉嗰啲植物咧？係咪？好似啲花啊草啊，做咩你灌溉嗰啲雜草咧？講咁樣咧，佢就當佢一撞火嘅時候咧，佢就同自己講。我唔好灌溉嗰啲雜草，灌溉嗰啲植物，唔好灌溉雜草，灌溉植物，死一味同自己咁樣講咯。咁樣佢唔知道佢自己係用呢個方法啊，佢唔係去觀賞啊，佢變咗係用呢個嚟壓制佢嘅，係個真心，係個撞火，係用呢個嚟壓制咯。咁樣係咪嗰個方法唔係錯，係用錯方法？係咪？你用錯方法，所以咧就弄巧反轉咗，係個真心咧冇減少。當我哋壓制嘅時候咧，佢會增強嘅，所以我哋唔可以用我哋嘅意志力嚟壓制嘅。如果我哋可以用意志嚟壓制，我哋個個都滅盤咯，係咪？好簡單啊嘛。係如果你可以。人咧，你係估你係有呢個正念同埋智慧咧，係咪喺每一方面啊？咁樣咧，我哋就會唔會即係講成為呢個追求嗰個點樣講啊 pleasure， 即係講我哋即係講我哋個身體或者我哋嗰個 pleasure 係點樣講咧？嗰個感官欲啊，個感官欲嘅我哋唔會去追求個感官欲咯。咁樣咧，佢講咧，你咁係講我哋唔追求個感官欲咧，我哋嘅心啊就會自然平靜咯，冇咁容易受到即係講威脅啊，即係講唔受啲騷擾啊，我哋好容易俾外在啊。即係講我哋所睇到、所感受嘅嘢啊，我哋會產生嗰種慾望、嗰種金管，咁樣我哋就會受到即係講騷擾，同埋我哋好艱難平靜啊。咁樣咧，呢個就係嗰個佛陀嘅答案咯，因為佢個問呢個咯，所以我覺得係呢個係一個好有意思嘅 經文咯。呢個就係呢個經文係取自Sutta-Nipa. It is from Sutta-Nipa and it's all the collections of the scriptures. So thank you for listening. Thank you.